WBCB presents Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Enough is enough, and it's time for a change!
I can't believe I'm putting my voice to this.
Call in with a question or comment at 215-949-3232 or 888-922-2149.
Thank you for your irrelevant opinion.
And now, here's your host of Pro Wrestling Weekly, Fearon.
The first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up if you want to hear what I gotta say. I'm a broadcast journalist. I have a right to my opinion.
Oh, son of a...
I am the best on this microphone, in that ring, even at commentary.
There's the sound of the bell, and that means we are off. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry here with you alongside a jam-packed house, to say the least. Lucas the Intern.
How you guys doing today?
The golden voice of professional wrestling, and in my opinion, the next announcer in the WWE, Stephan T. Benson.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
And for those of you who have kept track, and you probably haven't because I'm one of those numbers freaks like that, since taking over for Eric the Loose Cannon Gargiulo some many years and months ago, this is actually my 250th episode. So as kind of a little throwback to the past, I brought into the studio a man who has about as much go-away heat as his favorite wrestler, The Miz. The one, the only, Richie Blyweiss.
Well, thank you for having me on the show, Fearon. That's a heck of an intro you gave me there. I don't know whether I should be happy or upset. I don't know. That's one intro.
Really? Just wait until the commercial break will go.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me. Congratulations on 250. That's quite the honor.
Yeah, I'm maybe about halfway to Gargiulo. By that point, we'll be talking, 20 years on the air, the show itself. We just celebrated 15 years this past February.
That's awesome.
And that was awesome. That was a lot of fun.
Speaking of, I think I'm coming up on almost a year with this show right now.
Yeah, you started back in August of last year, and, well, what have you learned in that time?
Let Fearon have his show back.
Very well done.
That's a good answer right there. That's a good answer. Everybody learns that lesson at some point. It's just a matter of how long it takes to get there.
This is very true. It did take you a while when you were here.
I would also wait until the commercial break to yell at Fearon when he does the
to say words that can't be said on the radio. You wait until the microphone's off. Otherwise, we have to hit this little dump button over here, and we don't want to do that. I've gone 250 episodes. I don't want it to happen now.
That's okay. I came prepared.
It's the Boy Scout motto. All right, Stephan, let's get started with you, brother. What, I don't even know where to start.
Let's start at the beginning.
Let's start at the beginning. It's usually a very good place to start. Or so Julie Andrews sung about in, I think, The Sound of Music.
All right, well, in short, I started announcing when I was 5. I was my favorite wrestler of all time, Hulk Hogan. So I initially started imitating the announcers that they had, Howard Finkel, Gary Michael Capetta, and until I learned to develop my own sound as I got older. When I really started to get noticed was actually the 2008 WrestleMania. It was WrestleMania 24 in Orlando. I, at that time, met your favorite wrestler, The Miz. And John Morrison when they were a tag team. And it was really cool. I introduced them at what's called the Bagels, Bacon, and Bicep Brunch. They do it ever so often at WrestleMania week. And
hold on, I need to let that sink in. The Bagels, Bacon, and Biceps Brunch.
Yep. There's an interview there. It's like a whole conference with the wrestlers, and a select few fans actually get to go.
I like how neither of those foods help you build your biceps at all.
None whatsoever.
That's fantastic.
One's a belly filler.
Fantastic. I love it.
That's the 5th B that they don't tell you about.
There you go.
What's so very interesting is I've announced a litany of superstars. John Morrison, The Miz, R-Truth, Booker T, The Undertaker some years ago in the parking lot. And as we moved on in years, and that's just to name a few, let's move to WrestleMania 28 in Miami, Florida. The Miz was doing a Q&A, And I saw an opportunity, and I said, this opportunity is going to be me challenging The Miz, basically saying, you need a wrestling ring announcer. His response is, that why are you wearing a suit and a tie today? You think I need a wrestling ring announcer? I said, yeah. He said, you think you're better than Justin Roberts? I don't think I am. I know I am. His reaction, step up, kid. And I've never moved so fast to a WWE ring being invited in. That was my first official time in a WWE ring. I introduced The Miz. He absolutely loved it. The crowd went wild, and I just continued to do that the rest of that WrestleMania week at Access. I got to introduce Chris Jericho. That was the first time I introduced him, but it wasn't the way I wanted to, because it was from his autograph and picture signings. And so the following year, WrestleMania 29 Access is where it really got good. Chris Jericho's music hits just as I'm about to walk away from the ring to get a Coke, because I'm thirsty and I'm parched. And I just turn around and say, screw it, I'll wait. I wait until about halfway through the Q&A, and then I say these exact words, Mr. Jericho, the only man who will say Mr., preceding a wrestler's name. That's why they know who I am, aside from the announcing. So I asked him if I may introduce him. He said, I remember you from last year. He's like, you tried to introduce me. I was like, I did from the stands. He was like, well, I'll think about it. Let me finish this Q&A. So, came to the end of the Q&A, and I thought he initially forgot. The man did not forget. He said, wait, I think I do remember a young man in the audience that wanted to introduce me. He was like, let him up to the front. As a matter of fact, this is WrestleMania Access. Bring him up into the ring. Brought me into the ring. He asked me what my name was, told him what my name was. He took the gold mic that I said, and that's the best part, everybody. He has a gold microphone, showed it to the world. So that was really cool, kind of put me over. And, at that point, he was like, all right, so you're going to give me this is going to be the best ring introduction that I've ever had, right? I said, yes. So he said, all right, everybody give him some encouragement. People clap. And he said, we're going to give you a countdown, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. And it basically went like this. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Toronto, Canada, weighing 227 pounds. He is the Ayatollah of rock and roller, the best in the world at everything he does, the only man to beat The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin in the same night to become the first ever undisputed WWE champion. Ladies and gentlemen, the best in the world at everything he does. Give it up for the one, the only Y2J, Chris Jericho.
Bam. Money.
Awesome. That was awesome.
Right
I'm
there.
getting goosebumps.
Very
Getting
cool.
goosebumps.
I just may make one correction. He's actually from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. That was my mistake. I really got in the moment, but I did say Winnipeg when I did the
At
introduction.
that particular thing. Who's splitting hairs when you get to that point?
It's like when you're about to do something like that, you think you're going to screw up because it's like, oh my gosh, I hope I don't go screw up. I hope I don't screw up. And it's like you've been there for 10 years doing it. And, that's how I am. As far as I'm concerned, I belong there. And that's how I present myself and carry myself. After I introduced Chris Jericho, I introduced Bo Dallas, because I believe. This is before the Bo Leave gimmick.
Yes, pre-Bo Leave. That was back, was that during his Wade Barrett feud?
I believe so, when he eliminated him from the Royal Rumble.
Or you believe so?
I believe so. I introduced the Usos and a man who I'll see a little bit later on, Theodore Long, and
Holla Holla.
Holla Holla Holla, and Ron Simmons. And the list just went on. I even introduced the Shield as they were walking by and just got the thumbs up from each of them. Seth Rollins actually gave me a thumbs up. He kind of gave me a grisly look, and I'm like, ooh, don't kill me. I don't know what I did wrong. Ted DiBiase, one of the other many superstars that I've introduced, is really, has really helped me out a lot.
Wait, senior or DiBiase Posse?
DiBiase Posse,
Okay.
DiBiase Jr. He's really done a lot in the time he was with the company since he and I had met to help me. He did the DiBiase Posse parties, and he would meet up with the fans, do the tailgate. I did the tailgate because I was like, I want to win 2 tickets to WrestleMania, but I had other plans in mind, and that was introducing him. So I told my friends, try to get a hold of him if you can. I'm going to set up everything. So I'm setting up. My back is turned to the direction he's walking in, walking towards me. And then all I hear is, they told me there was a ring announcer over here. And I was just like, excuse me? There's a who here? And he was like, yeah, I'm looking for a ring announcer. Is that you? I was like, yeah, that's my name, Stephan Benson, the golden voice of pro wrestling, sir. And he was like, I hear you do the best introductions this side of town. Yes, sir, I do. And they got WWE cameras out there. I got my own cameras out there. Introduced him. I introduced Randy Orton. I introduced Zack Ryder, because at the time they were all champions. Well, not Randy Orton, but it was Zack Ryder, Daniel Bryan, and CM Punk, I believe at the time was world champion, WWE, and US champ. 2011.
And internet champ.
You got to meet
Internet champ. So, it was really cool. So after all that concluded, he said, you know what? Dude, you got a job. He's like, at the DiBiase Posse party, you may enter a job. You may get free tickets. Gosh, man, you just took Justin Roberts' job. His words, not mine. You can even look at the video, Cheap Pop, youtube.com, Stephan Theodore Benson, or Stephan Benson WWE. Check it out.
Shameless plugs are what this show's all about.
Oh yeah, Fearon, you do it the best. Yeah, I mean, not. I'm just saying when it comes to
when it comes to shamelessly plugging things.
with the longest that crap.
You have a lot to learn, young Padawan.
Oh, please.
You mean the longest running pro wrestling radio talk show in the history of terrestrial radio.
I'm about to reach over and kick the crap out of Michael Cole over here.
Security?
No, there's no security here.
We'll get Cataldi from the other room. Yay.
He'll help me.
Just the list goes on and on as far as wrestlers I've announced. Randy Orton, one of the most fun introductions that I've done, because at the time of WrestleMania 28, he was, I guess you could say, a heel, bad guy at the time, or kind of a neutral, because he was facing Kane. Kane was really the bad guy, but Randy Orton wasn't really necessarily a good guy, wasn't necessarily a bad guy. I bring that up because when I did the introduction, his reaction was not bad, pretty good, trying to play it off, but everybody was telling me if you saw his reaction in the video, which I finally did, he loved that introduction. But I'm sorry.
Had the kind of wide-eyed, fresh face, like, wow, this. But he had to play it off like,
as soon as
all right, kid's not bad.
As soon as I looked around, the whole demeanor changed. He was like, not bad. All right, kid. He's like, you work here? I was like, I'm trying to earn a job. He's like, that's the way to do it. Funny enough, some years later, let's fast track to this year's WrestleMania. I meet Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler says the same exact thing. I asked to introduce him, and I've been wanting to introduce him for the longest time. The show off, I get to show off to the show off. Give him his introduction. Would you all like to hear a little preview of what that was?
Yes, please.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Hollywood, Florida, weighing 228 pounds. He is a former United States champion, former World's Heavyweight champion, former Mr. Money in the Bank winner that successfully cashed in. The reflection of perfection, the resident show-off, the one, the only, stealing the girlfriend and the show. He is Dolph Ziggler.
Nice.
And he was like, what are you trying
Ashley,
to sell?
look out.
Yeah.
Ashley being Richie's girlfriend.
No, that's a good intro.
Yeah, that's.
Can you,
They might need to extend Raw an extra hour or so.
No.
can I make a request? You said you did the Undertakers.
Yes.
Yeah, can I hear the Undertakers?
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout, scheduled for one fall, is the Streak versus WWE World's Heavyweight Championship match. The first superstar gaining pinfall or submission will be declared the winner. Introducing first, from Death Valley, weighing 299 pounds, he is the Phenom, the last outlaw, 21-1 at WrestleMania. Ladies and gentlemen, Dead Man Walking, The Undertaker!
You could do this all day.
I am marking out right now. It's almost, I feel like it's like he's walking down the ramp.
all 6'10" and a half of him.
Only thing that didn't feel right is saying 21-1. Still does.
I know. You just instinctively went 22-0.
Yeah, I instinctively said
You had to
22-0.
correct yourself.
You know what the sad thing is, like, this is just a little off topic, and like, the thing with Lesnar, it's been the buzz the whole week. They're saying, oh, is Lesnar going to they want Lesnar to come back at SummerSlam and kick the crap out of John Cena. So let me get this straight. You hate him for ending the streak. Mm-hmm. Correct. So, but now, because you hate Cena for some odd reason, because there's no character development, I'm done with you.
Is this a leave Brittany alone rant?
No.
Okay.
This is not. But now it's more of like a hypocritical, like you want Lesnar to beat Cena because you hate Cena more. It's like, just make up your minds.
Next thing you know, you're going to tell me LeBron James is going back to Cleveland. Oh, wait.
I would,
Topical humor.
Should
How
we
about
tell
that?
I would like to go on record by saying this as far as
Little late there, but I like it.
Yeah. My personal opinion about him, I don't know him directly as a person, so I can't say how he is. I'm sure he's a great guy, but in ring, I'll admit, when I was younger, I wasn't a fan of Cena because I got tired of the same character, and then I realized, you know what? The reason they stick with that character is because it works for the kids, it works for the women. They like it. If it sells, then they're going to continue to do it, no matter if the fans like it or not, because people are going to continue to pay to see him. Plain and simple.
I've always been a Cena fan. I've always supported him, and I don't care. I don't fall into the that typical demographic of people that generally like him, but he's a good talent. I enjoy watching him in the ring, and he's somebody that lives and breathes the business. It is life for him, and nobody does more than he does. Honestly, the Make-A-Wish stuff is probably what puts me over the top with him, but he's just the guy that there always has to be somebody that puts the company on their back. And that's not Randy Orton. That's not Triple H. That was always Cena. And that's, it's been for a long time. It was, it was Hogan in the 80s. It went to a split probably between Stone Cold, Rock, Undertaker, if you want to say, in that
Michaels
90s.
a little bit before that.
Right, there's always been that person that's been the guy. Brett, sure. I mean, there's always been the guy. Cena is just the guy right now, and he probably will be for another 5 or 6 years. And then somebody will come along, just like Cena did, just like, Rocky Maivia did. Just like
the blue chipper,
the ringmaster. Let's not forget, somebody else will come along and will take that spot, and then Cena will make his surprise appearances like Hogan does and like Rock does, and that'll be the nice progression of it.
What I loved about Cena though was, especially now, like when he went on, like 2006, when he went on a rant. Like I remember he did like a fake little press conference before where he faced Bobby Lashley in 2006, and he did like the "I never learned to read" sort of thing. It was like when he goes on a rant and like does the promos and stuff, when it's not Vince McMahon writing, when he's on target, he's on target. It's like, especially now though, when like in 2012 when he was walking around the ring, like running around the ring with the mic pointed at like the fans are all screaming like the Cena sucks, and he's just taking it like it just. I love how he does it. Like,
I would take those Cena sucks chants right to the bank, though. He's making that money.
That's what he's doing.
They even sold a shirt that said Cena sucks.
Yeah,
and
Cena made money on
like
that.
Crazy,
though.
yeah.
Cena made money on that.
It's like, I'm going to show my displeasure for this wrestler by giving him more money.
That's right. Please, buy those Cena sucks shirts.
Yeah.
Buy them,
it's like,
he's saying.
Take that, you bum.
Yeah. They're not going to
take
get
that and my $30.
Because, there's a difference, though, between not liking him and getting that reaction and not liking him and getting no reaction. You look at the characters over years that people just say, no, we don't like this person. They get no reaction, and that's it. The people, the majority of the Nexus that people just don't like.
Yeah,
they get
Michael
no reaction,
Tarver
and that's it. Right, and it's not like we hate you, we don't like you, we don't like your character. Where like
we just have no vested interest.
Right, a la Bray Wyatt, where he's the bad guy, But here is John Cena. People are just saying, okay, yeah, whatever, and everybody's got their own opinion.
it's like Fon, whatever.
No, you said his name wrong. It is Fon Dong Go
away.
It's only an hour show. Holding out those vowels a little long there.
Okay, wherever I get my movie tickets from. Nobody. Okay.
I saw what you did there.
I like that.
There you go. You
There
get
it
one
is.
too.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah. So like
that is not fair.
You notice now how he doesn't get a reaction on TV. It's just like, it's whatever his name is. Okay, yeah.
It's the ballroom dancing guy.
Let's bring out somebody else, please. Just
bring out the rosebuds.
I do like Adam Rose. He's got a good shtick. I really, really like Adam Rose. It's not going to last.
Speaking of Adam Rose, if you look at a recent screenshot, Luis the Punisher Martinez from
the Monster Factory
was a rosebud, as was QT Marshall and former Monster Factory champion. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot.
Mark Cruz,
Steven Cutler, Tommy Macklin.
I was like, wait a minute, I worked with that guy.
I was wondering where they're getting these two, because they're not paying them on salary to travel around and prance down to the ring.
We'll be talking Monster Factory a little bit later. I do
Money in
have
the
that in
Bank
my
too.
notes.
I think he was one of the security that took Brie Bella out of the building.
Yeah, Luis the Punisher Martinez was. It's astute observation on your part.
I'm a huge LOA fan. I must say.
I'll have to take a look at that. I didn't notice that because I've been really busy working.
Oh yeah, no, of course. Yeah, that's just some of. Well, first of all, I'm looking over here. We are way up against it, so we got to go take care of a little bit of business. We'll come back here. We have all kinds of stuff to talk about. I mentioned the Monster Factory. We talked about Teddy Long a little bit earlier. Teddy Long, right now, is over at George's Cards and Collectibles in the Oxford Valley Mall until 3 o'clock this afternoon. And as if that wasn't enough, next week, Saturday, July 19th, from 11 until 1, the Funkasaurus, Brodus Clay, will be at George's in the Neshaminy Mall over in Bensalem. And also recently added, I'm going to sound so white by saying this, yo, 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 pop a 40 and check your rollies, as Crime Time, JTG and Shad Gaspard will appear at George's in the Neshaminy Mall Saturday, August 23rd from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m.
Money, yeah.
How about let me try this one? Yo, 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 pop a 40 and check your rollies. It's crime time. Is that better?
Well, having said that, I do have some thoughts.
So do I.
40 and check your rollies. It's crime time.
Brooklyn. That was white.
We're bringing the hood to
I think you're late for a commercial.
I think I am
I think you're
too.
late for a commercial.
You know what?
This whole thing is embarrassing. It really is.
Thank you, Vince. Let me finish talking about it. Check out George's 3 locations for all your sports and wrestling memorabilia needs. Their original store at 7755 New Falls Road in Levittown, in the Oxford Valley Mall in the Sears Court on the lower level, and their newest location in the Neshaminy Mall in the movie theater wing. For more information on the upcoming Brodus Clay and Crime Time appearances, well, I would say go over there now because Teddy Long's there, but you can give George's a call at 215-943-2475 or visit them on the web at georgescollectibles.com. We'll be back with more hilarity, hijinks, tomfoolery, and chicanery, and other words that I can't say. Here with the golden voice of professional wrestling, Stephan Benson. Richie Blyweiss back in the house, making a cameo, as it were, on this 250th episode of mine here. And Lucas the Intern providing his usual antics and whatnot. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
Another time I was in East Hartford, one of the 2 Hartfords, and I went to a place that said Grinder. I walked up to the guy, I said, "What's a grinder?" He goes, "Where you from?" I said, "Philadelphia." He goes, "Hoagie."
And now, more Pro Wrestling Weekly with your host, Fearon Derry.
Nowadays, I won't get into what Grinder is. It's probably not a good idea. Defining and redefining. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry here with you alongside Lucas the Intern. Former co-host Richie Blyweiss making a cameo for episode 250 for me. Appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
And the golden voice of professional wrestling, Stephan Benson. You'll be seeing him in WWE, I would imagine, very shortly. At least if I had any say on it. Well, what can I say?
You got the microphone. You can say whatever you want.
Well, within reason. Otherwise, I get into trouble. And don't worry. I mean, Nick Cataldi, he is here in the building.
Hey!
He is just, he's getting ready for the Country Music Hall. Because of the jam-packed studio, he graciously stepped aside, and I'm running things here on the boards. And I allow him, or I thank him for allowing us to kind of have some fun here on this milestone episode. So, Stephan, you were well, I should, I guess, get into tomorrow. You're going to be at WWE in Wildwood, New Jersey.
That I am. As I've been to the events in Philadelphia, my plan is to, if I have the opportunity, announce Alberto Del Rio. That's I'm going to go there early, and should I be, bestowed such an honor again, I'm going to run with it and press like I usually do.
Now, you mentioned honor again. Of course, for those who didn't see it in the Philadelphia papers, you had the opportunity recently to announce for Del Rio about 3 weeks ago.
That's correct. At the June 22nd event, he came down to the ringside after his music hit and looked directly at me, just pointed at me and smiled, got the microphone, and basically said, I will not start this match until I have a proper introduction, because Justin Roberts, you suck. Then he comes over to me and is like, everybody, I'm going to introduce to you my friend. No, he's my cousin. Yeah, he's my cousin. He's going to give me the introduction I deserve. Brings me into the ring. I give him the introduction. I'm not going to give a preview here because if you want to,
if you want to, there you go. Go to WWE's live event tomorrow night in Wildwood at the Wildwood Convention Center, 7:00 bell time.
I will be there.
There we go. Shameless promotion.
You were there in Trenton, too. I think it was in March or April.
I was there in Trenton, and then before that, it was October 13th, I think, in Philadelphia, that the last WWE live event of 2013 was there.
Yes.
But mindless plug, a shameless plug, don't forget to download the WWE app with over 7.6 million downloads. It gets you inside the ring and beyond the ropes. Keeps you with the action when we go to commercial with in-depth interviews with your latest, favorite, and greatest WWE superstars, past and present as well. Superstar, as well as divas, legends, and Hall of Famers. Download it right now. It's free. It's on the iTunes Store and Google Play. Don't forget, sign up for the WWE Network. It's $9.99 a month. You get all 12 WWE pay-per-views, including and starting with WrestleMania 30 just took place a few months ago. Ladies and gentlemen, original programming like Legends House, Total Divas, and so much more. A lot of great content. Get it right now. It's the WWE Network. The best thing since anything.
Lucas, you're never allowed to call me Michael Cole again. Because that just out-trumped any Coleism that I've ever done.
Good.
And you're scowling at me because you know I'm right.
That's my new title, then.
That is not fair.
I'm still going to call him Cole, but I'm just going to have a bit more disdain in my voice because I know it's not that accurate anymore.
Can I have your attention, please? I've just received an email from the anonymous Raw general manager.
Oh, gosh.
You talk about things that failed. That's it. There's the failure right there.
That goes back a ways.
That was Hornswoggle that turned out to be, I believe.
You know that there was something more that just blew up at the last minute that they didn't realize.
It's probably supposed to be something.
Or they just kind of backed themselves into a corner and didn't really know how to get out of it. That's probably the other
I feel like if
possibility.
they didn't know how to get out of it, they would have kept going almost.
Until they just fired the anonymous Raw general manager.
Right.
Can I have your attention? I've just received an email from the anonymous Raw general manager and Mr. Fearon Derry. And I quote, this is the 250th episode, and you all will listen to it again and again and again.
And you can do so either by going to WBCB1490.com or you can check out the archives on YouTube.
Do you remember how excited we would get though, from that? Do you remember how excited when that tone would hit and the lights would flicker really quick, and then you wait for Cole to take the few steps
over to the
that was
podium?
Exciting. Yeah, that was exciting because you never knew what could happen. I mean, I feel like that general manager aspect is almost turned now into just the authority, and that's it. Not that the authority isn't exciting. This is the most exciting time I've had with wrestling in a long time. But I like the anonymous GM. I wish they would have had something better.
I just
than
like the podium. Yeah, especially now when you would hear those infamous words that we won't hear for a few months. I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Who was it that destroyed the podium? Somebody was it Cena that
it was
destroyed?
Edge, I think.
Was it
Edge?
Somebody destroyed the podium one night.
Edge did.
Edge. Okay.
Oh, the general manager.
That's what got him traded to SmackDown, I think it was.
Can I have some decorum, please?
Can I have some decorum, please?
Apparently not.
Person out of all of them. Wow. You've
got some work to do.
I don't do good wrestling impressions. I do like Family Guy and then comedians, and that's it. That's
about it?
Yeah, that's about it.
That's what you got?
Yeah.
Good times. Good times.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
So what do we got on current wrestling?
Let's take a look at some news and notes. Well, actually, we had some breaking news from earlier this morning. I got a text at 7:15 this morning from WWE. Thankfully, I was already awake, but for those who weren't, that probably would have been a rude awakening. No offense to the late ravishing Rick Rude. WWE signing Kenta. They sent out a text, as I said, the 17th this morning, that during a live WWE event in Osaka, Japan, WWE signed Japanese star Kenta to an NXT contract.
Who's Kenta?
Oh boy.
Is this bad?
Take this
Pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Is it bad that I don't know him, or is it just bad in general?
You should have at least heard of him.
Should have known him.
Yeah, like he's one of the top stars in Japan.
Oh,
and he's now coming over to WWE. The announcement took place during a signing ceremony in Osaka, Japan, with WWE Hall of Famer Hulk Hogan presiding.
Do you think
the
that maybe
Hulkster made the trip to Japan?
I'm sorry. Do you think that maybe they're going to get one of these international signings right? I mean, they have failed on the very, very good majority of international signings. You know, you can probably pick out a handful in the past 15 years that have actually panned out, but you've got a lot more that didn't. I mean, you look at Sheamus. Is that the best international signing they've had in the last 15 years?
Well, it's probably because he was a graduate of the Monster Factory.
Barrett's yet to be seen.
Throwing that
there
out
there.
Speaking of
that's plug number 9 for today.
Oh, we're well above that at this point.
Speaking of number 9 Monster Factory, why don't we go to plug number 10, Fearon?
Fearon, is today your 249th show?
No, that was last week.
Oh, 250 is today. Okay, all right, there you go.
Gosh, high five in the studio.
He should come back. We could be a heel tag team or something.
Let's have a round of applause for the 250th episode.
250.
For crying out loud.
250.
There you go.
1940.
If you're going to form a heel tag team, you can go over and meet Teddy Long, and he'll book you in a tag match.
Yeah,
a tag team match.
I just don't want him dancing.
Anyway,
I just can't watch him dance anymore.
Holla.
Kenta issued a statement. I'm humbled to join WWE's NXT division and look forward to honing my craft with the global leader in sports entertainment.
Now, does he go to NXT or does he go right to
He goes to NXT.
SmackDown,
He's
Raw?
relocating to Orlando.
Do you think
he's going to be in the Performance Center?
Do you think they're going to repackage him?
Will they put him on Raw soon, though? They going to do something with him, or are they going to let him train for a while?
Depends on who else gets future endeavored in the near future.
I mean, come on, they're already.
I know, harsh, but
can we take a second and just? I mean, who do we think is the next to be future endeavored? Who's the next guy that gets cut?
Oh dear.
We've all got looks on our faces, like we know, we just don't want to say.
Yeah.
Can we just
let's not give the kiss of death, shall we?
I'm hoping not. But I like Zack Ryder, but I think he might. Like, we haven't seen him. He's there to job now. Same with Heath Slater. A lot of these guys are jobbing.
I thought Heath Slater would go in the last time, but for some reason they cut the other two.
He's back to being a one-man band.
Yeah, and he was on the other night.
He
was
got jobbed by
SmackDown.
Rusev.
Hey, you're on.
Yeah, but still, it's like once you get jobbed, you know you have to either climb up the ladder or just wait until you get future endeavored.
Brooklyn Brawler made a career of being a jobber, and now
so did Iron Mike Sharp.
Barry Horowitz, Iron Mike Sharp. Yeah. There are a lot of guys. That's Barry Hardy to a degree.
Is Barry Horowitz still around? Is he in the back, or is he off something?
I don't know.
Speaking of which, though, on
probably
Monday,
off doing something else.
Speaking of blast from the past, we had a little bit of a. We had the man who loves to fight. We had we had Finlay, Jamie Noble, and Joey Mercury. I saw the road agents that broke apart Roman Reigns versus Kane.
Got speared.
Yeah, Finlay got speared. Jamie Noble just got pushed on the ground. Wonder if
I think didn't he have neck issues or something? So there's only so much.
Sheamus ended his career, or quote unquote ended his career.
Gotcha. Let's get into this. Speaking of possible endings of careers, how about Santino? Making that surprising announcement to the Toronto crowd during a house show this past Sunday, explaining that he's experiencing his issues with his neck, as he put it, quote, for the third time, and that between his age, him being 35, and the injury, he said, quote, this might be the end of Santino Marella in a WWE ring.
He could be a good agent, though. He'd be that guy that really would know how to add the humor element to it. He could be, and that's necessary on these shows. 3 hours every Monday night. You need that comic relief.
But you need good humor. Like, I'm not trying to rank as much as I love WWE. Some of the stuff with their humor,
they've been trying for a while to get the ice cream bars back.
Oh,
that would be the best.
I want the ice cream.
Good humor? No. Okay.
We have a Mr. Softy and a Jack and Jill truck in my neighborhood, and every time they come by, I ask for it. Just thinking, I'll just keep asking. Do you have the wrestling bars?
The WWE ice cream bars.
And the sad part is that they look at me and they're like, "Dude, what are you talking about?" I was like, "The WWF wrestling bars. Where are they?"
Where's CM Punk's ice cream bar?
They're apparently stuck in 1997. I don't know.
Wait, I want CM. Like CM Punk, I want him to have an ice cream bar. I'm just kidding. Punk, I don't even know what to do.
Speaking of your boy Punk.
Oh, great. What's
he not doing now?
He is doing something. He's co-hosting Music Awards Red Carpet Pre-Show.
Good for him.
He'll be hosting the red carpet pre-show for the first ever Alternative Press Music Awards on July 21st at 5 p.m. Eastern. He will join the voice runner-up Juliet Sims for the event from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Museum in Cleveland, Ohio, as it airs on AXS TV. Punk's statement on the event: well, I'm actually stoked to get out of the house and get gussied up for the first ever Gibson Brands AP Music Awards fueled by Monster Energy Drink. Red carpets and me don't mix, so I figure it'll be a perfectly hilarious night with friends and a live microphone. My favorite. Be there and be square.
I'm never going to get to meet Punk.
Speaking of CM Punk, I have an interesting run-in that I had with him just last year. Or no, a little bit earlier this year. It was an event, and I was just doing a random promo for WWE, and he just comes jogging by behind my shoot and screws the whole shoot up. Everybody that I was interviewing just completely forgot that they were being interviewed and started jumping up for joy, like, oh my God, it's CM Punk. I'm like, don't chase him. Don't try to get autographs. And they do it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And he had the dirty... If looks could kill, every last one of those people would have been dead, because CM Punk was like, I'm just trying to work out before the show. That's all I'm trying to do. And he didn't even let him do that.
He doesn't seem like a people person, but as a man of the people, he doesn't seem like a people person.
Well, he's hardly people power John Laurinaitis.
People power.
Yeah, I can't. I've got the rest of the show to do here.
My name
I can't.
is Fearon, WBCB host, and I'm Mr. Excitement.
That's definitely going to be a drop. I can tell already. Oh, gosh. Well, to get you to not do the Laurinaitis impression, let's talk about the Monster Factory, your favorite and mine. Actually, Richie, I got to get you down to one of these.
I'm in. Just tell me when.
Well,
that's the beauty about being a teacher is I'm off this summer. It's a beautiful
I'll do that right now, because Monster Factory action returns to Paulsboro, New Jersey next week, Saturday, July 19th. Doors open at 6. The action starts at 7. Tickets only $20 and just $10 for children 12 and under. So far announced, there's a 6-man tag match of the Militia, consisting of War, Major McClendon, and Brutal Joe Gibson, against the Monster Atu, the Pride of Paulsboro, Anthony Bennett, and Luis the Punisher Martinez. Lucas, you can put your arms down now.
No, I'm keeping them up.
If Martinez and company win, Bennett will challenge McClendon in singles action for McClendon's Supersonic title, or, well, you say it better than I do.
The Supersonic Championship.
Thank you. And Luis Martinez will vie for Gibson's heavyweight championship, and both title matches would occur later that night. If the Militia win the 6-man tag, then Bennett and Martinez will no longer be able to wrestle for any championships held by the Militia. As if all that wasn't enough, if you purchase a ticket for next Saturday's show on July 19th, you can return to the Monster Factory the following night, July 20th, to watch WWE Battleground for free with some of your favorite Monster Factory wrestlers.
That's a cool promo right there.
Yeah, they're doing that for the remainder of the year. So They will have the Monster Factory show the Saturday before the respective WWE pay-per-view. So right the day before SummerSlam in August, Night of Champions in September. I've got the rest here somewhere. Yeah. So the remaining shows, August 16th, September 20th, October 25th, November 22nd, and December 13th.
Very nice.
Good to have notes in front of me, because I wouldn't have been able to remember that otherwise.
Not a better value than that. I mean, if you don't have the WWE Network, who wants to pay $49, you can just watch it for free. Visit the Monster Factory next weekend.
And you get to watch it with the wrestlers, so you get like a different perspective from people who have battled in the ring and can kind of give you a little... It's a little insider knowledge you wouldn't otherwise be able to get.
And get their reaction, so that's cool.
So check it all out, monsterfactory.org. That's the place to go to get all the info and get yourself squared away, and you'll see me there. Just look for the doofus with the giant afro.
But speaking of WWE,
I thought you were going to say speaking of doofuses with giant afros.
We can go down that route if you want to.
I don't know. Is there a Carlito reference you were going for there?
That's not cool.
No, that's not cool.
Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, you can visit GameStop and reserve your copy of the new WWE 2K15, available for Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and the Xbox One. The latest and greatest experience. It's going to be the best WWE game to date, with updated graphics, gameplay, as well as the new Eco Motion technology, which is going to bring the game to life. October 28th, it'll be released at midnight. It's WWE 2K15, and the exclusive downloadable superstar for the Xbox One and PS4 will be WCW former World Heavyweight Champion Sting.
Oh, okay, that's what I was going to ask, too. It's like, what do we get if we pre-order? Right now, I'm just like, with GameStop, I really want to pre-order, but
I work at GameStop.
So, did you just spoil the surprise for this coming Monday with Sting and his tweet that he posted earlier this week?
No, it was actually posted
7/14/14.
It was already posted on WWEgaming.com as well as 2KGames.com. That is the company.
Okay, so they've already then Sting must have some other sort of surprise apparently for this Monday, or at least just a tease.
I'll have some questions for you after the show, Stefan.
Will do.
I want to tell us, I've been looking into, I talked to you about this. I've been looking into getting a PS4 for like 3 weeks now, so we need to talk. We definitely need to talk. I'm back and forth between a 1 and a 4, and I don't know.
We'll let them exchange contact information. We'll go ahead and take care of some business and come back with more news and notes. We've got some interesting birthdays to talk about as well for today. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Pro Wrestling Weekly presents Today in Wrestling History, July 12. On this date in 1992, WCW held its Great American Bash pay-per-view. In the main event, Terry Gordy and Steve Williams defeated Dustin Rhodes and Barry Windham to win the vacant NWA World Tag Team Championship. On this date in 1998, WCW held its Bash at the Beach pay-per-view. In the main event, Dennis Rodman and Hollywood Hogan defeated Diamond Dallas Page and Karl Malone in a tag team match. On this date in 2010, WWE Monday Night Raw aired live from Lexington, Kentucky. In the main event, David Otunga, Heath Slater, Justin Gabriel, Michael Tarver, Skip Sheffield, and Wade Barrett defeated John Cena in a 6-on-1 handicap tag team match. This has been Today in Wrestling History, July 12. Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry here with you alongside Lucas the Intern, former co-host making a cameo, Richie Blyweiss.
Good to be here still.
Good to have you back.
I'm enjoying this conversation here. We got a lot of different things on the table. I'm loving this.
And the golden voice of professional wrestling, Stephan Benson.
Loving the show.
Yeah, I can't believe it's taken this long to get you on here.
Well, you know,
what the hell's the matter with me?
I know, and you know what? I've just been busy. So it happens.
Exactly, life tends to happen. All right, so let's get back to you had mentioned during the break you wanted to you had an audition process for WWE. Talk to us a little bit about that.
May 30th of last year, I had an audition and interview with WWE after having introduced Chris Jericho at WrestleMania 29 Access. I shortly received an email from the WWE after having given them some of my contact information. I just moved to my new house. I just randomly checked an email that I really don't ever check, but it was my business email. I see an email from WWE. I'm like, this has got to be a gag because I've gotten a gag email before. Sure enough, I checked. Everything checked out, and May 30th of that year, I went in for audition and interview. It went great. It just takes a while to, basically screen and all the auditions and interview process.
Am I able to ask who your interview and audition were with?
I worked with the then WWE announcer Tony Dawson.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm too many things going on at the same time here.
Show.
Exactly. It is a jam-packed show. I'm not used to it.
May I?
Go ahead.
That just sounds really, I've never known somebody that went through that whole kind of a process and all, and I was trying to think if I can ask, what you actually do to prepare for something like that. Do you go through the roster, or do you more just kind of check your voice and all that kind of stuff?
In terms of how I got the
interview,
I just introduced the wrestlers over years, and once I introduced Chris Jericho, I think that's what did it. The reaction that I got, and I absolutely loved that. I wasn't expecting it. They took my information down. They did it the previous year, and I'm like, okay, if something happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Take it for what it is, a grain of salt, until something solid comes through. And then they called me, and said we'd like to call you in for an interview because they said that audition, that introduction of Chris Jericho was quite a moment you had. I won't get into further detail because they're very private, but I'll just say as much. They were very impressed by it, and it's like it might make more sense having you come in for an interview after having done that. So, but it does take a while for them to screen the auditions because they get a lot of them.
Oh, we wish you the best of
Makes
luck.
sense,
That's fantastic. The best of luck to that. That's great. That's right. We could be sitting next to future Mean Gene. That's it.
Oh, give me a break.
Oh, Mean Gene.
Where do you have the nerve to?
I cannot compare to that man. He is gold.
He is, and he's on Legends House.
He's
Legends
the gold
House.
behind the golden voice, I guess you could say, right?
True, and speaking of famous WWE announcers, one last plug, WWE Hall of Famer Howard Finkel this year. I introduced him for the first time at WrestleMania Access. I tried to do it 2 years previously, and it didn't happen. And then he introduced me after I'd introduced he and Jimmy Hart, and that was really cool. He said, "Ladies and gentlemen, introducing from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, he's trying to make it, and he someday might, Stephan Benson." And I was like, wow, introduced by my favorite WWE announcer. It doesn't get any better than that.
That's a great thing.
I actually have an audio bit from him that I use from time to time. Same type deal. I'm not going to pull it up now. Too close to the end of the show.
That's how I feel
right.
when you introduce me. It's that passionate feeling.
Careful now. All right, let's go to the birthdays. A few notable ones in this case. In this date in 1984, current NXT star and independent sensation Sami Zayn, known in the indies as El Generico, turns 30 today. Where does the time go? 10 years earlier, 1974, former WWE Tag Team, Cruiserweight, European, and Hardcore champion Gregory Helms, known in WCW as Sugar Shane Helms of 3 Count, and most famously known in the WWF and WWE as the Hurricane, turns 40 today.
What's up with that?
What's up with that?
There's a hurricane coming through.
I think I used that as the intro. I had a show the same day that Hurricane Irene was rolling through here. Yeah, that was interesting to say the least.
That's not necessarily a good primitive.
Well, it's one of the memories that come back over 250 episodes.
True.
I think I even used the old sound clip of Vince calling, wait a minute, Good Night Irene, the old sleeper finisher of adorable Adrian Adonis.
That's great.
How's that for a throwback? And I'd say most notably, 1977, former WWE heavyweight champion, UFC heavyweight champion, and the man who broke The Undertaker's WrestleMania streak earlier this year, Brock Lesnar, turns 37 today.
The
Sorry, I
1
didn't hear
in
that.
21-1.
What did he just say? Broke what?
The Undertaker streak.
I'm sorry, that didn't happen. I was there. It didn't happen.
He's enjoying his birthday with Sable. It doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Doesn't get better than that.
That's true.
Especially when it's 37.
Good for him.
No Clerks fans here. Okay.
Oh, he's 37.
Uh-huh. Yep, that's more than fine. Yes, it most certainly is.
I have to see that movie still. I apologize. Once I see it, I'll be doing it with you.
No, you were perfectly fine on that. How about some Kurt Angle news before we roll out of here? Kurt Angle with a contract update. Did you guys hear about this?
Yes, I did.
Oh, for those who didn't, Kurt Angle appeared on the Ross Report with WWE Hall of Famer Jim Ross this past Wednesday, revealing in the show that his TNA contract expires on September 21st. He was offered another contract by TNA, but he turned it down.
Not surprised.
Because his next wrestling contract will be his last, and he feels he needs to think about what that means for who he signs with.
I didn't know TNA was still around. That's still going on.
You didn't acknowledge it existed when you were co-hosting the show. What the hell has changed 2 years?
What is that?
It's just there.
The former WWE Tag Team
That's
you're
it.
talking about?
That's it.
Didn't
They
used
were
to
more
work for
popular than this
No, not
federation.
Test and
I feel like
Albert.
that's where former WWE careers go to die.
Test and Albert were more popular and
go to
probably
Test and
got more viewers than any episode of TNA Wrestling. TNA Impact. Impact, is that what they still call it?
Impact Wrestling?
It
Yes.
made no impact. None.
I'll concur with you on that, and I have to agree. I know we're pressed for time right now, but I must say, TNA, while the wrestling may be good, the storylines are recycled WWE and WCW storylines, plain and simple, and they're horribly redone.
They got rid of the best thing, the six-sided
TNA
ring. They
Well, they brought it back.
Did they?
They did. As of
Still not enough
the
for me to
tapings in New York, which I believe are going to be airing starting this Thursday, they actually left the vote up to the fans, 4 sides or 6 sides, and the 6th side apparently won. And starting with those tapings, which will be airing, I believe, starting this coming Thursday, they have reverted back to the 6-sided hexagonal ring.
So I have
Still
to say
not
something. TNA to WWE is as Family Guy is to The Simpsons.
All right, there. I see what you did.
But the sad thing is, I'm a huge Seth MacFarlane fan, so a part of me just died saying that. I hate comparing Family Guy to TNA.
Somebody's a little upset.
I'm a nerd.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh, he didn't have his headphones on, so he didn't even hear that. This is why you put headphones on in the studio. Have you learned nothing over the... Oh, goodness. All right. That's going to do it for us. We'll be back next week. Thank you again to Richie Blyweiss coming back.
Thank you for having me.
Episode 250. The golden voice of professional wrestling, Stephan Benson.
It was a pleasure.
Any last-minute plugs before we get out of here?
Don't forget, download the WWE app. Over 7.6 million
I meant yourself,
downloads.
not the WWE.
I got to. Well, ladies and
YouTube.
gentlemen, don't forget, look me up on YouTube at Stephan Benson, WWE, or just Stephan Benson. You can check out all my videos. Don't forget to rate, comment, like, and subscribe.
That's S-T-E.
S-T-E-P-H-A-N.
Very important.
B-E-N-S-O-N.
Yes, like the old sitcom from back in the late 70s, early 80s.
One last quick thing. For Philly.com, type in that same name, and you'll find an article for the Philadelphia Daily News, as well as the Inquirer about that.
How about that? And Lucas, thanks for being here as always.
There you go.
Doing your thing. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly. Stay tuned. Nick Cataldi's next here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
Serving you better than ever before. This is 1490 WBCB in Levittown, Fearless Hills, Trenton.